Welcome to DBL. We are having some fun today with some stories that are taking us back in time. So first, Brian Austin Green is opening up about his jealousy while dating his Beverly Hills 90210 co-star Tiffani Thiessen. Here's what he said while speaking to his other 90210 co-star Shannen Doherty on her podcast. Take a listen.
I'd never been in a real serious relationship before. I was incredibly jealous every time she would have to work with anybody else because we'd already been doing the show for 4 years. And all of a sudden she's, doing like sex scenes with people that were like my family and my brothers. It was strange.
That's weird.
So Brian did go on to admit that he handled the situation poorly and should have realized Tiffani was just doing her job. Okay, so could any of you handle that? And I do think by him admitting it now, he's older. I think he was 20 at the time this happened. I think back then you're immature and hopefully you learn and you grow. But could any of you handle that? Could you handle that?
Yeah, probably.
You were the first
could?
person. I didn't know how you would vote on that.
Yeah. With my wife, like right now.
With your wife.
She's not an actress, so it'd be weird.
Well, as an actress, if Jordan got offered a Lifetime movie and there were there's definitely plausible. There's some sex scenes.
Lifetime sex? Sure. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hallmark sex.
Okay.
Cinemax? Maybe not.
Okay. What about any of you, Tori? Could you handle that?
I don't think.
I don't think I could do it.
Okay.
No. But I'd expect Brooks to handle it for me. That's not very nice.
That's honest, though.
It is. Yeah.
Would the zeros on the check matter?
I was going to say, what's the check?
What would you do, Erica?
I would ask what the check is looking like.
So it would have to mean something substantial.
Well, yeah, because also that's a different realm anyway. So it's like, is it worth it to take on that project, or is it just something that you're doing to do something?
Right. And I do think, too, and I want to know if that would personally affect you, but also Tiffani was always an actress.
Right.
Brian was always an actor, so it wasn't a surprise either.
I don't think it was a surprise, but I think what he was really doing is saying that he felt lesser than or lower than his male co-hosts, and that's or co-stars, and that's why he felt uncomfortable.
Dylan was the heart.
He felt threatened by them.
He was the lowest of the low.
He was not
I'm not saying, but maybe in his mind, Erica, maybe that's how he felt.
No one cared about him.
I never watched the show, but I'm looking at this as an outsider. It feels like a guy that was like, I don't want my girlfriend to spend too much time around Jeff because she'll realize he's a better guy than me.
Oh, so Jeff's the Dylan.
Jeff would be the Dylan.
Jeff's the Dylan. Who are you, the Jason Priestley?
Whatever this other guy was.
Okay, so you're Jason Priestley, you're the Dylan. Who's Tori?
I'm
Ian Ziering?
No, you know who you are.
Who?
You're Andrea. You are. Listen, you guys have a lot.
What's wrong with Andrea?
Nothing, but they just have.
wants to be Andrea. They treat
Why?
her because they made her very Oh my God, there's a side by side. That's so rude.
Okay, wait. Let me just go.
She was 59 years old. She was older. Her glasses.
59 years old.
They just did her wrong. She wore unflattering
Let me go over
outfits.
some of the similarities, right? She's Jewish. Andrea Zuckerman.
Yep.
She loved politics. She was the class president.
True.
Remember, she
Smart.
one summer she taught the deaf children, and Tori pretends she knows sign language.
I do know the alphabet. I do know the alphabet.
Sign language.
I do know
And
the
Tori,
alphabet.
honestly, though,
There's a lot of similarities.
Super smart.
I know, but she also looks like she's your mother. You know what I mean?
No.
She looks old.
Tori, this is my issue.
Andrea.
And we do this a lot.
Again,
You guys are wearing the same outfit. That's the same shirt.
Right?
Take it down.
I think she's very attractive.
I do
think
too.
Yes.
She's the Velma. We know she's the
Velma's
Velma.
Velma's hot.
Velma was the hottest
You're
one
not
by
taking
far.
Velma.
Yeah, you can take Velma.
You're
You're
Andrea.
wearing a Velma skirt today. You look good.
Yes.
You look good. Okay.
It's those Scooby Doobies.
All right. Scooby Doobies. According to Lindsay Lohan, we are getting a Freaky Friday sequel over 20 years later. She told People that the new movie is in the process, but could not say when filming will start and if there's even a script yet. So yesterday, Lindsay told Andy Cohen that she and Jamie Lee Curtis are both very excited about the project. Do we need this sequel? I know how I feel. What do you think?
Need is a very strong word.
Okay. Do you want this sequel?
By the way, this is the fourth in the Freaky Fridays. There's been 4.
Okay, so there was that one original from like the 70s that I loved.
Jodie Foster. Then there was another one.
Jodie Foster, that was her.
Yeah, it sure was. And then, excuse me to interrupt you, there was another one.
Okay.
Then this one, or then another one. How many freaky? I'm sorry, no one's asking for this.
That was so Andrea.
I like
Andre
Erica.
also
You don't
lack
think we need
detail?
this?
I think need is a strong word,
Okay.
but you feel
I
you have some
love
feelings about
all
this.
these types of movies. I love
What
the
do you like
Freaky
about them?
Fridays. I like the 13 going on 30. I like the whole
The switcheroo movies.
I like the switcheroo. I like even like Big when you see this like all of a sudden you look at your body and you're a grown human, or I just like it all.
But you still have the mind of a 13-year-old, but
It's
you're dating grown
interesting.
women.
I know
It's
that's
super
weird. You have to,
That's
you're
where
right.
it always gets
You're
weird.
right.
Is like then the husband comes when they do the switches, and then it's just like, now she's got to go sleep with her dad. I don't
always
like
for
this.
fun.
I don't like where
No,
this is
those are
going.
old plots. I'm pretty sure they would update those plots to not involve that because that was weird.
Okay.
Predatory.
Okay, all right.
And predatory.
We're gonna get these movies banned.
All right, so last week, comedian Sinbad made his first
Shout
public appearance.
out.
I know, since
Yes.
having a stroke in 2020, he joined members from a different world cast via Zoom for the first stop on a 10-city tour of historically black colleges and universities. So yesterday, he posted this video on Instagram reacting to how people responded to his appearance. Watch.
Getting a chance to be on a Zoom and say something to the kids, it's wild that the kids even know who I am. That's beautiful. Thank you to everybody who's been praying for me and saying good things and supporting me during this time in my life. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Aw,
Man.
Jeff, you're smiling.
You know what? This is so crazy, but I met Sinbad when I was like 20 years old
Of
in
course
Vegas,
you
just
did.
walking by. And I just said, what's up? He goes, how's it going, young fella or whatever? And I still remember that brief interaction. So it's like, man, how you treat somebody years later really has an impact. And I love Sinbad growing up. I watched all those shows. And I'm just happy to see him, you know, he's doing good.
And I want to say this because Sinbad got he became somewhat of a laughingstock in the last 10 years. People making comments. I saw he was at an award show and he said that he said on the podcast that somebody said, "Look at Sinbad here trying to be relevant."
What?
And I just couldn't believe the disrespect in a world where we live, where comedians can do it from the comfort of their own home. Sinbad used to go around the country and kill in a way that people don't understand. Doing a live show and making your auntie fall out of the chair, that kind of comedy. He's a real comic. He's one of us. In my opinion, really was like the springboard to modern stand-up the way we see it today. And he should be, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore stand-up. He is, I don't think people understand what he used to do to crowds. And he's very 90s, so the outfits look dated.
Yep.
You know, but he's just, I feel like he is the best in the way that his personality is even now. Even when he went broke, him and his wife did a show about it and made fun of it. And like they were eating by candlelight. And I was like, man, what a way to look at life. Instead of saying like, what happened to me, where's my money? And just so shout out to Sinbad for being like a true human being and a true comic. So yeah, shout out, way to go.
Beautifully said.
He's so great. He's such a great guy. I talked to him on a flight before. He's
You
dope.
did?
Yeah, he just talks to you.
Just a normal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting too, just from, I don't know him, but I'm glad to hear all this also. My mom's mom had 7 strokes. I've been around a lot of people in stroke centers. He sounded particularly good. I know that people would be scared of the face and maybe the drooling and all that. That's quite normal. But to be able to have those complete sentences, to give the sentiment, to have the empathy, the emotion, sometimes after stroke, you can have no affect.
Right.
And you've lost the person inside.
But it
He's
has,
there, but
you're right, but it's been almost 4 years.
It sure has. So he's
can you
maybe the
imagine
rehab.
what type of, I mean, his rehab
I was
kind of
gonna say his
every
rehab.
single
Incredible.
day,
Yeah.
right? And
It's such a struggle.
Yeah.
And you're coming up with words and you have aphasia and it's embarrassing, especially for someone whose mind is so quick.
Yeah.
And you're just slower. And you're like going, my mom would say, I'm like going through molasses. You know, you're just struggling. So I just want to say, from someone who's seen it, I was particularly happy to see that reaction.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great conversation.
Shout out Sinbad.
Yeah.
Shout out.